They show no dignity to Leia. Why can't they let you be Leia? Darling, why you and number 9? Woo! Ow! What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to start off by giving a great big shout out to you. Those of you who have been subscribing and hitting the notification bell. I've been noticing the uptick in subscribers, and I really do appreciate it, guys, because YouTube, they go back and forth with us, you know, who are creators on here. So, you know, at any given time, I can see my subscriber count drop. People are telling me they're not getting notifications. So this is how we push back. And I thank you guys so much, man. I got mad love for ya. All right, guys. Now let me spin off into the topic of the video. Listen, have you guys been kind of wondering what's going on? Like when you saw the footage, right? The special footage from D23, right? And you saw Leia standing there. Were you one of those people who, when the image came on the screen, was like, ah! You know, because that was me, all right? It's like, that kind of creeped me out, guys. It's like, I am all for, like, when a movie comes out after somebody has passed away, you know what I mean? That's their final work. You know, if you're a fan of that person, it's kind of like a tribute, you know, to see what they were working on at the time that they passed away or after they passed away. But what I don't like is what Disney Lucasfilm is doing with Carrie Fisher and the character of Princess Leia, where they're piecing together, you know, like discarded footage to try to create a role for her in this film. And, you know, I just don't like that, guys. I mean, like I said before, it kind of creeps me out. And when I saw her image there, it just felt so hollow. It felt so soulless. And in a way, it's kind of appropriate for what Disney Lucasfilm has been doing with Star Wars, because I've been saying for a long time, it really is soulless. It's like you can show me all of the glitz and the lights and the flashy action and all of that stuff, but there's just something that's just not there on the inside. You know what I mean? It's just what they put up front. And, you know, that's what's been plaguing everything that they've done, you know? So, I mean, even Rogue One, Rogue One is, you know, widely considered to be the best of the Disney Lucasfilm Star Wars movies, but even that, it hasn't like broken through as a timeless classic. I mean, it's just the best of them, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, it just makes me wonder how important Leia is to this story, you know, like going forward, you know what I'm saying? And I really don't feel like she really is, and that's not like a slight on the actual character, because we all love Princess Leia, we all love Carrie Fisher, but I feel like their usage of her in this is not necessary. You know what I mean? It's just one more thing that they're using to, I don't know, pull those nostalgia strings. And I have an article here that I saw a couple of days ago, and I just want to share it with you because, you know, there's something there that I want to point out. But I'm going to share the article with you first, and of course it will be in the description box. And this article was on comicbook.com, and the headline is, Kathleen Kennedy explains why Leia's story was important to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Kathleen Kennedy explains why Leia's story was important to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Well, I would have to ask you, how important was Leia's story to The Force Awakens? How important was Leia's story to The Last Jedi? This should be good, because I saw them give Leia nothing in the way of a story in the last 2 movies of this so-called trilogy. So this should be amusing, why her story is so important in The Rise of Skywalker. Alright, and we're going to go on, and this is written by J.K. Smith. And his name is my name too. No, let me stop. Alright, it says here, after more than 40 years and 10 movies, the Star Wars franchise will finally reach a conclusion in the ongoing Skywalker saga, with Episode 9 premiering in December. And the man who helped launch the sequel trilogy will return to wrap it all up, as J.J. Abrams is currently hard at work on finishing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. But after the tragic death of Carrie Fisher, many fans had questions about how the series could progress without the involvement of General Leia Organa, one of the key characters since the first move premiered in 1977. Yes, it says the first move. Of course, they mean the first movie. Going on. Abrams sat down with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy for an interview with Entertainment Weekly at D23 Expo, where a brand new look at Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was released. During the interview, they explained how vital Fisher is to the movie and why they decided to include Leia in the film despite her passing. Well, to those of us in the know, it's pretty obvious why they would include her in the film, but let's indulge the article, shall we? And Kathleen Kennedy goes on to say, "I think there was a huge sense of responsibility," Kennedy explained. "We spent a lot of time talking about what do we want to feel. Well, I would say, first of all, Leia, that was a really complicated conversation. But we knew that she was such an important character. We just don't want to say that she wasn't around, that she had gone somewhere, to say that she had passed away in between." Oh no, that's Abrams. I'm sorry. J.J. Abrams says, "We don't just want to say that she wasn't around, that she had gone somewhere, to say that she had passed away in between," said Abrams. "It just felt like there was no way to end this story. She was such an integral part of it." Well, actually, guys, I feel like, yeah, it probably would have been appropriate to say that she had passed away in the opening crawl, and then the opening scene could be a lavish funeral service, a tribute service, where she is being honored along with her loving husband, Han Solo, finally, to be sent off together. And maybe even include Luke in that as well. You know what I mean? Since they did away with every fucking body, why not? You know, so due to the fact that Carrie Fisher did indeed sadly pass away, what would be more honest than to explain that Leia had also passed away, all right? And begin the movie from there. You know, I don't think I would have had a problem with that. Actually, yes, I prefer that to like cutting and pasting images of her that were never meant to be seen. Like she didn't have a okay. All right, now I understand that her family is okay with this, all right? Now, if her family's okay with it, there's only so much I can say as far as the ethics of what they're doing. Of course, they're allowed to do that. I actually did a video a long time ago talking about how Lucasfilm was bragging that they have digital copies of everyone who's ever starred in their movie. So technically, they could recreate all of these characters for a new adventure on the screen. If I can come up with that article, I'm going to leave that in the description box as well. They really don't need the consent of anybody going into the future, let alone us, the fans, you know, with what they can do with these characters. They have the technology. They already talked about it, so they can do it. All right, so it says here, yes, it felt like there was no way to end the story. She's such an integral part of it. Kennedy added, "Finding an end to this in an emotional way, I think, was paramount." The two went on to explain that they recognize expectations are riding high on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker as a satisfying conclusion to a series of films that have inspired a rabid fan base. Okay. Let's see. "It's not just the end of 3 movies, the end of 9 movies, 3 trilogies. So the story needed to end emotionally. It needed to end with scale, but with intimacy," Abrams said. "It was a bit of juggling on a tightrope act, but it was really important to us that we tell a story that makes people feel. And when there's a sense that you're a kid watching all 9 movies years from now, you'll see this beginning, middle, and end, and you'll feel like it was all coming to this." Oh, the fuck it will. No, it won't. The only thing that future generations are going to see and feel is episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Anything that comes after that, they ain't gonna be feeling unless somebody else is doing them. Now, I'm not gonna say that in the future, you know, that, of course, and they're gonna feel like the Clone Wars and, you know, stuff like that there. But when it comes to the major theatrical releases, future generations are gonna wonder, what the hell did they do with Luke? What the hell did they do with Han and Leia? You know what I mean? That's what future generations, I promise you, that's what future generations are going to be wondering. That's what my son was wondering. I've seen in the comment section many of people telling stories of their sons and their daughters and their nieces and their nephews and their grandkids who just turned off to Star Wars after The Last Jedi. I know it wasn't just my son. I see that this is actually a phenomenon. Rian fucking Johnson did this. All right, and he inherited that from JJ, who started the bullshit. You know what I mean? So JJ is not clean from all of this. I just think that he's a better filmmaker than Rian Johnson. He's a better storyteller. So I do believe that The Rise of Skywalker will probably be better than The Last Jedi. But since the damage that they did is so irreparable in not getting Han, Luke, and Leia back together again in any kind of way, I didn't expect this trilogy, this so-called Nyquil trilogy, I didn't expect this to be about Han, Luke, and Leia exclusively. I just expected a realistic and fitting passing of the torch. That's why so many of us were still on board after The Force Awakens, because we still thought that there was a chance that they were going to do right by Star Wars. You know, but after The Last Jedi, it was just like, okay, you were 2 movies into a trilogy and you just completely made it worse. You know, so for a lot of people, that investment is not there. That emotional thing that they're talking about is not there. All right, so let me see if there's any more here. Yeah, we'll get to see how it all comes together when Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker premieres in theaters on December 20th. Ha! So there it is, guys. I mean, they claim that this thing is vital to Leia. But remember also, this is the same woman, Kathleen Kennedy, that said that Luke is so significant to The Last Jedi, right? So you're going to have to define for me what so vital and important means when you talk about how they're going to use Leia. Is it vital and important to the story, or is it vital and important to getting people's asses in those seats as far as nostalgia is concerned? Just in case Lando doesn't do it, you know? To know that Leia is there and to keep flashing that recycled picture of her, you know, from The Force Awakens with age progression. You know, I guess they're feeling like that is going to do it. But I don't know, guys, you know, what do you think? Do you think that it was better to do it this way, to have like these regenerated, regurgitated images of Carrie Fisher on screen, you know, or do you think it was better to give her a dignified send-off, you know, as far as, you know, explaining that, you know, time has passed and maybe she passed away or something like that in the opening crawl? Like, how would you have preferred to see it done? Or maybe you don't have a problem with the way they're doing it. Let me know in the comment section. Of course, I always value your opinion. And as always, guys, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And when you subscribe, of course, hit the notification bell. Make sure you continue to be subscribed. Like I said before, I greatly appreciate it. And of course, you can catch me on Twitter. I will be there. All right, guys, that's it for now. I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.